So yeah, most of my videos are done in the van. On my way to Hickory, a friend of mine has a daughter. She's about 27, 24 maybe. She's got a 2-year-old son. Both of them are very sick. They feel like they have, want to get tested for COVID. So this is one of those situations where
continue on I-40 East for 5 miles.
The father of the child got on drugs, a lot of trouble, and she wanted to leave, but he has a family that has money, influence, power, and they've made sure that her life's a living hell. She's an excellent mother, hands-on, beautiful, beautiful boy, and she's just getting railroaded. She's like 1,300 miles from home, and she has nobody here. All of the people that they know are all her boyfriends, friends, family, acquaintances, and not one of them is on her side. They've already made sure that DSS has gotten involved, and even though he has been in a world of crap and gone through court system, convicted, drug charges, among other things, stress got to her and she started using a little bit, just for a few weeks. But in that few week period, she got caught. Boyfriend made sure she got caught. So now she's in a situation where she can't be with her son by herself, and they're both sick. They need a COVID-19 test, and bless her heart, she has nobody in her corner. She has absolutely no support system whatsoever. Her mom and dad are family. They're in Houston. We're in North Carolina. It's about 1,200 miles away. And Stephanie can't possibly, it's impossible to get this young woman the help she needs. And I am just so proud and grateful that I'm close enough to her that I can get to her in an hour and 15 minutes. So I went ahead and looked up the information, and I'm going to stop in, scoop them up, and get them on over to the testing site.
In 2 miles, take exit 105 from North Carolina 18 toward Morganton, downtown.
And when a young woman, separated from her family, she gets in a situation like this, and she's scared to death. She's backed into a corner. She's sleeping on a busted air mattress in these people's houses, and they're hammering her for rent. So what if she left? Who are they're not going to get any rent. So why can't they work with her? That's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that they work with her. And I've got a little bit of money that I'm going to give and talk to them. And, just let them know that they need to get off her back. Because she's just about to the point of a nervous breakdown, giving up, and just, and that's what happens when you get back in the corner. And, this is what Hope's Hope is all about.
In half a mile, take exit 105 for North Carolina 18 toward Morganton, downtown.
I met a whole awful lot of people after Hope passed away. I didn't know before. I had that attitude of, she's just around with a bunch of trashy, drugged out people. That's the
In a
whole.
quarter mile, use the left lane to follow signs for Shelby.
That's the whole stigma thing. And
Use the left lane to keep left, then turn left onto North Carolina 18 South.
okay. Listening to my GPS and talking to it too. Not one person that I met, or should I say absolutely every person that I met, told me that their life was made better by Hope's existence in their life. And whenever they felt down, they always knew they could count on her. She was just that type person. If somebody needed her, she was going to be there. It just didn't matter. She was going to be there. And didn't matter how bad they felt. She left them feeling better about themselves, because people in these situations, they feel bad enough about themselves as it is. They feel embarrassed. They feel worthless. They feel like the world is looking down on them, and you know what? Most are. Because nobody understands.
Turn left onto North Carolina 18 South, South Sterling Street.
That addiction is a disease.
Continue on North Carolina 18 South for 17 miles.
Substance abuse is a disease. And, alcoholism is a disease. However, it's much more accepted. But you have to have kindness and compassion. You can't just tell them they're unworthy of even being a human being. That they're below everybody else's level. No, they're not. They're good people. They're brilliant people. They find themselves in situations, peer pressure, extreme stress. Try a little drug. Hopefully it'll numb all those horrible feelings they're having. After all this stuff's prescribed, right? And that's what they do. You go in and you're depressed and you're anxious, and they medicate you. So you already know that. You just can't get anything from your doctor because you don't have any insurance. So they try drug, say methamphetamine for instance. It hits that part in the brain that makes you feel good. That makes you feel that everything isn't as bad as it seems. It gives you confidence. Albeit a small sense of security. But sometimes it gets you through the day. pass judgment on somebody that needs a little numbing, to be just a little comfortably numb, because this world is evil. This world will beat you down because of the human manipulation factor and social economic factor. Nobody's on the same level. Her boyfriend, like I said, family, 100% connected in this town. She has no one. And she can't trust anybody, because what they will do is everything she tells them, they'll pretend to befriend her, and everything she tells them, they'll go back and tell the boyfriend. So he's just stacking up ammunition. And this started out with him. She was afraid of him. He did drugs, he drank, got out of his mind, he was abusive. To the point where she took her son and ran and hid. Would not even run the risk of calling her mother for fear that they would find out where her location was and come, and their main objective was do away with her, get her off to the side, but take the boys. The boy doesn't need to be without his mother. Ideally, a child doesn't need to be without either parent. But we all know life's not fair at all. And unfortunately, we have to deal with the hand that we're dealt. And sometimes you don't know how to play it. How do you play that hand? Where do you go? Where do you start? So, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to put it, I've got a lot of experience in where to start, where to go, what resources to get to her, where I can find her a safe place. And that's what I'm going to do. Hope's death should have never been. It should have happened. She didn't deserve it. She needed help. She needed mental health. They just threw her in jail. And even I myself revoked her bail a couple times because she got pretty out there, and I thought, well, at least she's in jail, she's not using. But they just have no programs in jail for dealing with substance use. Perhaps if they did, it may work. Because it's basically the same. You go to rehab, you can't leave. But in rehab, you go to class every day, you have interaction with other people. You dig your heels in and you learn. Unless, somebody really doesn't want to be there, and it's court ordered, and they're just biding their time till they can get out so they don't have to go to prison. But, Hope was always so hopeful when when she would get out of rehab. Good Lord, that girl was brilliant. I mean, she was brilliant. Sometimes I think the roles were reversed and that she was the teacher, I was the student. But I guess you all know how this story ends. Hope had to go to prison because she couldn't pass a flipping drug test. She was in there with women who murdered their babies, chopped up boyfriends, ex-girlfriends. This little 19-year-old girl, she's biding her time in prison with murderers. Well, what are you in here for, Hope? What did you do? I just can't pass the drug test. Should never happen. Picked her up from Troy Institution Prison on June 16th, 2016. She was doing really well. She was getting everything lined up to get back into school, get a job. I was getting her set up with a car and everything she needed, all her resources, and I was going to be there with her right every step of the way. And Friday, she had made a lot of calls and got everything squared away. She had appointments for school, had job interviews. Sunday rolls around. She gets nervous. She wants to get a little high. Somebody sold her fentanyl. And it killed her. The worst thing in the world is expecting to go in the bedroom, wake your sweet baby up with kisses on her cheek. Only to find she was dead. I did everything I could to bring her back. It had been too long. No, God came and snatched her up in the night. He said, girl, you're not living this life anymore. Come on up here to heaven. I got some work for you to do. And then you're going to guide your mother on what she needs to do down on earth to help anybody that she can not be in this position, to help bring this opioid crisis to an end. So, that's my life's work now. Whatever I can do for this young woman, I'm going to do. Because she feels worthless. She doesn't feel worthy. She's embarrassed. She doesn't feel like she has anybody in her corner that understands. She has been made to feel that she's the lesser of a human being. Because she's got on drugs for 3 months. Wow. When you're out there lost, floundering, sometimes it's just easier to take a few puffs of something to get a little numb. I think if everybody just smoked pot, everybody just chilled. And it does help a lot of people who deal with depression and anxiety, but it's just been so lumped into all the other bad drug category. But this young woman's life is worth saving. She's clean. She's jumping through all the DSS hoops. And trust me, there are hoops. A little boy is beautiful, and he loves his mama. And he doesn't need to be away from her. The dad's a piece of shit. And for him, it's an ego trip just to get the kid, because anytime that he ever had him, all he did was leave him with somebody else so he could go party. What's the point? But we're going to get these COVID tests. I'm going to get her a new air mattress because hers has got holes in it again. I'm going to talk to her landlord and tell him to get off her back. She's doing the best she can. You know, it's a catch-22 where she is right now, because she needs to get a job. But she can't get him back into daycare until the COVID test, comes back. So then she's stuck. I'm going to stop this landlord bullying. I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it. Because they're also involved in the DSS case, and so they feel like they, have her under their thumb. Well, it's okay. He's getting ready to find out whose thumb he's going to be under. I'm not trying to toot my horn. But I've learned a lot. And I'm going to put my knowledge to use. And it gives my life purpose, because otherwise, because of the dog, I have none. So I have to go on for her. And I have to fight the fight that she wanted to. And I'm proud to do it. Most beautiful girl in the world.
it was kind of almost uncharacteristic of other stuff off that album. It sounds like a 60s pop song to me, the way that they had arranged. And it's almost like that would have been, with any other band, would have been their biggest hit. But because it was Led Zeppelin and the album was so unbelievable, it's their first album.
Take the next left on Beaver Crow Road.
Mountains crumble to the sea. There would still be rain.
Continue on Pink Crow Road for 1.5 miles.
I want you.
Hello?
Sarah?
Hey.
Hey, honey. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Okay. I'll just say I'm getting the car to out the other car right now.
Okay, babe. See you soon.
All right.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
That's beautiful.
That's what happened this morning. My boyfriend was driving a car and pulled up to a house, and trap house is where you go and get drugs. And I guess the reason it's called a trap house is because if you've never had never really tried drugs, that's kind of what gets you trapped into the life. And these are massive manipulators. Let's see. If they could only get a dose of their own medicine, and they're only doing it to, they're doing it to get all these people hooked. So their business, booze. And so all they have to do all day long is sit there and weigh out their drugs, put it in whatever different denominations people want to buy. And they don't care who they are. If a 15-year-old walked in there, they say, yeah, sure, and then if you want, I'll teach you how to shoot up. And it's vicious. It's really vicious. Because people don't want to wake up every morning and know that they have to go search for that drug, or they're going to be so sick. And I mean sick to you're praying you die. God, please.